Hello, guys. We're getting people on board right now. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning from Mexico.
Good afternoon for London. It's 7 a.m. here in Mexico. That's why.
Oh, that is very early.
Kind of early here, yeah. But it's great to start the day. So what's going to be the plan of today? We're going to be talking here, Chiara and me. We are both students of Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Management Master's course at Imperial College. So we're going to just make sure you have some materials to validate the problem and your solution that you are focusing on by this point. I mean, it's already Wednesday, but it will be nice for us to give you some content. And we think this will be a good session because we are students, just as you. We have both experience on making this kind of projects. Myself, I have a little experience on a couple of hackathons. Well, I have one, a few numbers of them right now. I'm competing, I'm representing Imperial College at the Holt Finals competition. We're gonna be pitching in front of a big jury panel, and I'm gonna be competing for winning £1 million. So I think it's gonna be amazing. So you can give us some questions if you want. We'll be super happy to answer you, just as students as we are, right? Mm-hmm. So Chiara, I don't know if you want to say something.
No, I think there's still people coming, so let's just wait for everybody to join. But yeah, so Danny and I are running this workshop today. It's day 3, so we've obviously day 1 was about forming your teams, which is really important. Some of you already had a team, some of you had to network your way into a team, some of you were even put into teams. And then you've kind of converged around a general topic or theme or pain point that you're interested in solving. Many of you already have kind of solutions that you think would solve those problems and solve those pain points. The purpose of this workshop today is to kind of take a step back. So we've given you the materials yesterday on the lean model canvas, the business model canvas. Thinking about your solution from a holistic perspective. What we really want to do today is kind of take a step back and say, have I really understood the problem? And in order to do so, have I spoken to potential users? Have I understood who they are? Have I understood why they're feeling this way? And that will hopefully give you inspiration and kind of an action point to either validate your solution, what you've already been thinking about, or to change it somehow, to make it more like fit more with the problem that you're trying to solve. So that's kind of what we're here to do today. We've all, like on this panel, we've all done some design thinking courses, and this session is just kind of to take also what Ravi said this morning about remote creative facilitation and design thinking, and kind of picking out the most important things that you guys should really action today, really. So that's what we're doing. I hope that makes sense, and I hope it can be insightful for many of you. Should we start? We have 23 attendees. I think we have team representatives here to take the information and bring it back to their teams, which is completely fine.
That's great. So yeah, for the people that are signing up, like Chiara and myself, we're gonna be talking about how can we validate the problem and the solution that we are facing right now in order to get a solution targeted for our main users or customers that we just been talking about for the past few days. So let's start. So we named this presentation, how can I validate my problem and my solution? So for today, we're gonna make you have a clear understanding of your problem. That your problem, of course, besides being related with the main topic of the pandemic, it has to be interesting, it has to be actionable, and it has to be impactful. So, in general, the problem that you are supposed to be tackling, it has to have a meaning, right? It has to be important enough to be solved by someone. So it has to be really relevant for a huge amount of people out there. You don't want to be solving a simple problem that actually maybe you have the problem, but it's not very important. It's not very substantial. It means like it doesn't mean like nothing your problem. So you want to have something interesting, actionable, and impactful, and you want to identify what specific problem you're talking about and who is this affected people. And you want to understand not only that the problem exists, but you also want to understand why is this problem happening, how is this happening, and when specifically it's happening. And for this, we're going to be talking about the customer journey that I was mentioning yesterday and that Peter was yet mentioning too. And then at the end, you just want to know that your problem has a fit to your solution, so that you have a problem solution fit. So the solution can actually aims to solve your problem. So in the first place, the problem, as I said, has to be interesting, actionable, and impactful. And the very simple reason to do it is just identify an unmet need, as you have been seeing. For example, some of you guys told me yesterday that you identified a problem by seeing some of your family members or your friends, or maybe you, that you wanna, I don't know, like someone told me like I wanna help someone, and I see that maybe there's someone in the other house here that wants to have his or her groceries delivered, but they cannot go outside. Well, that's just an unmet need that you identify. Then you have to observe, understand, and maybe do some research on that specific problem, right? So, for example, in this example, well, you have to see and you have to understand why is this problem happening, right? Why is the man next to my door, next to my house, who wants to go out to do some groceries, why can't he just go outside, right? You have to observe the situation, you have to understand, maybe talk to him, maybe talk to some family members of him, then do some research for yourself to try to understand why is this happening. For this to generate some insights. And these insights will lead you to your understanding of the problem of why is this happening and how can we give a solution to this unmet need. And here, this is just a very small template. You want to answer three main questions in order to have a great understanding about the problem. The first one is, what is the design problem you like to explore? So what is the overall characteristics of this problem that you're facing? Number two, who is most affected by this problem and why? When, of course, you here have to describe why is this people having the problem and who is this guy? And three, what's wrong with the current solutions for this problem, if there are any? Well, I've seen that most of you guys, people tell me, no, that there's no other solution for this problem. In most of the cases, there is a solution for the problem that you're facing. You have probably not seen it, and it not necessarily means that the solution is an online platform or a mobile app or a website. No, like sometimes people give them their own solutions, right? So maybe the solution for this man who cannot go outside for his groceries, maybe the solution is just taking the phone and maybe calling one of his family members to do their groceries for him. So that's a solution that it's for him. It's not necessarily an app, but it's a solution that it's solving the problem. But then you have to answer, what's wrong with that specific solution? Then going next, this is just some theory about how can you do some design research. And this is just to understand the problem that you wish to take, and who are the owners of this problem. So you're going to do this design research, who is just go outside and speak to people. You have to actually go outside and do some interviews, maybe with the users that you want to solve this problem to, or maybe people that are related to this problem. It's different from a market research perspective, which you can just, I mean, your only objective in the market research perspective is just to get a general insight about a whole and a big population outside. That's why you make surveys and you send some online surveys, and you expect to validate some idea that you have out there in the general population. But with the design research method, you just want to talk with people to get a clear understanding about the user and the problem that they're facing. So you have to go even emotional here. You have to understand. You have to put yourself in the shoes of, let's say, this man that he cannot go outside to buy his groceries. What is he saying? What is he living right now? What are his feelings? What are his motivations? You have to clearly understand about your user. And then for this, you have to understand who are the owners or the users of this problem, which we are going to call actors. Then in the core, it's who's the person, organization that it's at the core of the problem. So who has the problem as itself? So in this case is, let's say, the elderly man who is next to my house, who cannot go out for his groceries. Then on the next circle, what are the direct actors of this problem, who can influence this problem? So for example, the grocery stores, right? There are some direct actors. Why? Because they have to deliver the groceries for this man. Maybe other actors, it could be the neighbors, maybe. Then indirect actors, who are the people who might influence or be influenced by this problem? Well, of course, here can be the government, of course, in this case, in the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, the government's a big indirect actors, because they're the ones who are leading us on these measurements, right? So yeah, I will encourage you guys to please use these templates in order to have a clear understanding about the actors, the users, and the problem that you're attacking right now. Then, just to understand who is the owner of this problem, there are a lot of templates on how to build a persona. So a persona, I wanted to put this slide here because yesterday we were talking, persona. But what is a persona? Well, a persona is a personification of the user that you are talking about, right? So maybe the elderly people who lives here just by your house, maybe he has a name, of course, but you want to create a personification of these type of users. So for your research, you're just not gonna talk with this guy, right? You want to talk with so many other people that might have the same problem. So you're gonna create a persona, you're gonna name it, and you're gonna give him or her a phrase that identifies him. So for example, the name of this man may be Carlos, and he wants to go shopping, but he cannot go outside. And you're gonna talk about these people specifically for you to understand more about this type of users. And of course, you are gonna create this persona. I mean, for example, as you see here in the example, Sasha, Isabel, Julia, Rolf, they might be not real people, right? These are just a personification of the users that you're trying to understand. So here, this is a small template that you can use. So you want to specify a name, you want to give him or her, maybe you can even give him a catchy name, right? Not even a real name, just for you to understand what's the overall of this persona. You want to talk about his archetype, location, status. You want to put there an image of him or her. You want to put him a quote, as I said, I want to go to my groceries, but I cannot go because it's not safe for me because I'm 75 years old, so I don't want to get sick, for example. what are my motivations? What are my fears? What are my social motivations? You have to fill that up in order to understand me. What are my goals as a person to achieve? You want to clearly understand what are the frustrations and the goals of this person, and you want to create some bio of this person just to have a clear understanding, personality, technology, and what are brands that might be affecting him or his his maybe his selling motivations. And then answering the when, why, and how is this problem born. You have to make a clear understanding about the journey of this actor, of this user, or in this case, in this persona, right? So you want to make it clear what are the different stages of this which is user is making in order to do the task that he's wanting to do. So for example, in this case, if you're talking about an elderly man who wants to do his groceries, then you want to put here, well, first of all, my motivation is that maybe I want to eat. I want to eat something for the week. So that's my main motivation. I want to next know, what do I want to eat? Well, I want to eat some vegetables, some meat, I don't know, some fruit, for example. And then you're going to put all these stages. Okay, so maybe the next stage is, okay, I get hungry, then I search in my refrigerator, what do I have, what do I don't have. Then I need to decide what things should I buy, which things should I not buy. Then I'm going to probably check if I can go outside, but then I cannot go outside again, so I get angry. Then I'm probably gonna phone my family members to check if they can help me with the groceries. Then I'm gonna evaluate possibilities, and then at the end, I'm just gonna go outside by myself and to buy these groceries, right? So this is the overall journey that this man is following in order to buy his groceries. And then you are gonna identify on these steps what is the main pain points that this user is having on this journey. Why? Because you are gonna focus yourself or your solution on this specific area, on this specific step. We were talking yesterday that you guys, I mean, not all of you, but all of your projects, they want to solve all the problems, and they want to solve all the problems that you're facing from the pandemic. And of course, it's not possible. This is just a template for you to identify the main pain points to solve for your users. And well, this is just a template. And you can, well, in theory, you can divide the steps that your journey is making, your user is making, into awareness, consideration, decision, and post experience of the task that they're doing. You can even do this, or you can just put it as the way that you envision, as the way that you see it happening. You want to specify the actions, motivations, even questions, and of course pain points of each step for you to identify which point you're going to focus. I just want to mention here, these are old templates. There are like just general knowledge out there. You can look for more, or we can just send it to you. I want to mention too that you have a lot of resources there in the platform that you can go for it and then do your own research about all these topics. This is just a framework for you to have. And then how people were telling me, how can I like test that my solution actually solves the problem, or how can even validate that the problem is real? So if we have 5 minutes, I'm going to show you this video. It's super fun, but it explains how you can do these interviews with the people.
We're told, don't ask your mum if your business idea is a good one. She'll just say yes, because she loves you, of course. The mum test is a set of simple rules for crafting good questions that even your mum can't lie to you about. Let's have 2 conversations and see what we can learn. Mum, I've got a business idea. Can I tell you about it? Of course, dear. You like your iPad, right? Do you use it a lot? Yes. Okay. So would you ever buy an app which was like a cookbook for your iPad? And it only cost £20. That's cheaper than your hardbacks on the shelf. Well, and you can share recipes with your friends. And there's an iPhone app which is your shopping list. And videos of that celebrity chef you love. Yes, dear. That sounds amazing. £20 is fine. Will it have pictures of the recipes? Yes, definitely. Thanks, Mum. I'm going to quit my job and put all my savings into my new startup. Won't you have some lasagna? That conversation led us down the garden path. The mum test is about talking to your customers about their life, not your idea. It's about discussing specifics in the past instead of generics or opinions about the future. It's about talking less and listening more. Let's do it again right this time. Hey, Mum, how's the new iPad? Oh, I love it. I use it every day. What do you usually do on it? Oh, you know, read the news, play Sudoku, catch up with my friends. What's the last thing you did on it? Well, Dad and I are off on holiday. I was looking where to stay. Did you use an app for that? No, I just used Google. What app should I use? How did you find out about the other apps you have? The Sunday paper has a section on the apps of the week. Makes sense. By the way, I saw a couple of new cookbooks on the shelf. Where did those come from? Oh, they're one of those things you just end up getting at Christmas. I think Doreen gave me that one. Haven't even opened it. As if I need another lasagna recipe at my age. Time to refine my idea. We discovered many insights in that conversation to help us adjust our idea. It just goes to show, if you can get useful business information from Mum, you can get it from anyone. The Mum test.
Love it.
Yes. So, yeah, in general, at the end of this small presentation, it's just we're gonna explain how can you validate that the problem is real, and then at the end of this, then it starts something called the lean methodology, where you build the lean business canvas, what we were talking yesterday with Peter, and then you're gonna test this all assumptions that you are creating about your users or about your problem. And this is a continuous method that's going to be there for the entire lifetime of your startup if you actually want to go for it. And well, I think that's for today. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about prototyping and building a pitch deck. But maybe I missed something. I'm not an expert, of course. So maybe Chiara will jump on here and tell you guys some of her comments on this. And please make sure to make all the questions that you have so we can try to answer them.
Just to clarify, I am also not an expert, but no, I just wanted to give a little summary. I think what Daniel did was really useful. He provided a bunch of frameworks and tools to approach your project with today. So just to kind of sum it all up, I think it's really important that, first of all, you are very critical about the problem that you're trying to solve. So really understand what is the problem and who does this problem impact. So you need to use that actor map to write down and understand who all the different stakeholders are. Once you've done that, once you've thought about everybody who's impacted by it, then you go and you start to potentially do some research. So this is where potentially interviews come in as well. And this is what Ravi was talking about in the morning, how you conduct these research from remote. So what we would suggest is, given the short span of time that you have, to maybe have a couple of interviews with people that you can get a hold of really quickly. It might be family, it might be neighbors, it might be friends. Try and understand whether they've had this problem. But I think a key point here is don't try to impose your solution on them or impose your problem on them even. I think what was really valuable from the video that we just watched is the power of observation. So you need to get them on the phone and ask them to walk you through their current journey. I was talking to somebody yesterday who is thinking about 3D printing face masks to make them fit for different face types. So in that case, you would say, okay, tell me about your experience with face masks. That would be your first question. And then they can walk you through, okay, so I bought it here. When I put it on, I do this. And then you say, okay, how do you feel? Is it comfortable? Blah, blah, blah. So we really think that running these interviews is really important to understand the journey as a whole and also the emotion behind it. If you don't have time to do interviews, you can also maybe compile a survey and send that out to your friend, and try and get answers through that. But in one way or another, really try and conduct this research with potential users. Try and understand their pain points. Once you've done that, take it all, put it all together. Maybe everybody in the team has done this in different ways. Come back together and think of the personas, which is what Danny was saying as well, and what Ravi was saying this morning. Try and think of an archetype, or like a summary of all of the findings that you've made. Who is this kind of hypothetical user of your product? And by mapping out their journey in the user journey map, which is what Danny showed, this will give you insight into what the main pain points are. So once you've done all of this, which is what we hope you will do today, this will hopefully inspire you to understand whether your solution is useful or not for this user. If it is, great. Try not to be biased on this. Try not to impose your solution. But it's perfectly fine if it's not as well. And the whole point of this is for you to even pivot your idea, maybe for a different type of user or maybe for a different part of their customer journey. So I think that's the kind of overview that I wanted to go through. And I hope that's useful for some people. I definitely suggest that you go through these materials and that you go through Ravi's toolkits on the resource guide. Was there anything else that I wanted to say? Yeah, so today is all about testing and validating the problem and then adjusting your solution based on that. Yes? Does that make sense? Also, feel free to raise your hand. We should have said this at the beginning, but obviously it's just us. We don't have any guests in, so it can be informal as well. And we're here to help you guys. We're here to guide you through the process. Has anybody started doing interviews just out of curiosity? Has anybody done a survey to try and validate their idea? Or have you not gone in there yet? Raise your hand. I think there's a hand raising option. Has anybody done this yet? Yes, 1. Perfect. 2. Yes. Oh, this is great. Okay, 3, but okay, nice. So yeah, I hope that if we ask this again tomorrow, all of you will have put your hands up, because the worst thing is, you create a pitch, you create a solution, and then somebody asks you, okay, like, have you done any research? Do you know if anybody actually wants this? And you go, oh, no, I just assumed that this was a problem. I just assumed that people would want it. So this is also a great thing to include in your pitch, customer validation. Scheduling them now, great. Okay, I think that's all from me. So today focus on this. Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll talk more about, okay, so you've thought about the problem, you've thought about the user. How do you start to put this into your solution, and how do you start to test the solution as well, which is also very important. So this is validate the problem. Tomorrow is validate the solution. I'm being told to remind you to keep using the platform because we do keep uploading resources there and we keep giving announcements there. So do please keep using it despite the slightly buggy quality of it. There's a question, are the slides Danny showed under materials or on the platform? They will be, yes. We will upload them right after this. Also, I got sent Ravi's presentation, so I can upload that as well. But guys, if you want any more resources or information, let us know. We're here to help you guys. We're learning in the process as well with you. So yeah, we're very flexible. We can get you what you want. Ria, Anu, did you have anything else to add? Do people have questions about this, by the way? I think it's quite straightforward, but there might be questions as well.
Yeah,
Jen still has her hand up.
Just
Jen, did you want to talk or? No, okay. No, yeah, sorry. Hello.
Yeah.
Someone said this was really useful.
Oh.
I'm so glad. Am I breaking up? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. Danny?
Yes. So I don't know if you can hear me. I have my mic on. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I just want to.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I just want to mention that it's super important for you guys to know this validation step, because no matter if in which competition you're gonna be, all the judges have a lot of experience on this, and they're gonna probably ask you, okay, but how do you know this problem or this solution has a fit? So you have to really explain maybe all the process, maybe not all the process, but just give some information on how are you sure that his problem is real and the testing is real. Mm-hmm. So this is just a comment because of course all our judges, and if you can check the general guidelines of this hackathon, there's some criteria there for the judges to evaluate the project, and one of them is what impact and what like the overall validation of the idea. It's a pretty important score in the overall evaluation. So please take this into account. As Chiara is mentioning, we are uploading more resources there in the platform, and you can always go there and ask mentors who are, of course, super experts about this, maybe more than us, of course. They're our mentors too, probably. I would like to have them as mentors too. So please make sure to go there and start your conversation with them. And here we are, Chiara, Ria,
yeah,
Anu.
I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, I thought you were concluded. No, I'm gonna answer some questions after you're done.
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys have any recommendations for good apps or software for prototyping and testing ideas? So we'll do a session tomorrow on prototyping. Off the top of my head, there's a couple. I think there's one called proto.io, but I might be mistaken, and I will double check that. And anyways, the session tomorrow will be about this as well. So we will go through that tomorrow. But do message me if you want that today, and I will get it for you. Then there's another question on, if the people we are directly looking to support cannot be contacted, can we seek validation from external sources with in-depth knowledge about who we are looking to help? That's a really good question. And I think Ravi touched upon that a little bit earlier, because obviously they are, the Dalberg Design works a lot with emerging markets and with populations and people who they don't have direct contact with. I think if obviously you have a very, very limited time to do this, and you can't just call up, I don't know, someone on the other side of the world without first understanding where they are, like how to get their contact, blah, blah, blah. So definitely, if you have an external source with in-depth knowledge about that topic, that's perfectly fine as well. I think judges will be very aware that, you know, you had 5 days to do this and you couldn't go out of your house and observe people, I don't know, in an airport, for example. Like, you can't do any of these things. So I think they're going to be very like understanding of this. So do what you can. If you can't have a direct conversation with someone involved, then yeah, look to an expert. Maybe do some secondary research. That can also be very powerful. Yeah, so I guess my answer is yes. You can definitely seek validation from other sources. We're just very much pushing for this human design method because it's the one that creates most empathy and creates most inspiration for a solution. But there's many other ways that you can seek validation as well. Are there any other questions? Someone said this was very useful. You guys can also talk. I know that nobody has talked in any of these sessions, but you can, like, if you raise your hand, we can make you talk as well. If you want to share something, maybe one of the people who already have conducted interviews have some feedback, some advice to give to the others. No feedback. Okay, that's fine as well. Cool. Great. So next session is at 4, if I'm not mistaken, on sustainable finance. So that should be really interesting. Make sure to be there. It's on a different Zoom link. And yeah, we hope to see you there. Let us know if you need anything. We are here to help you. Any final notes?
Perfect.
Someone says gracias. I think that's directed to you, Danny.
Thank you,
Great.
guys.
Okay, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, guys. Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.